You need American Standard Quran. KJQ. It doesn't sound like the Quran.
Some may be more accurate just to be able to make it through.
That's not very accurate.
Which English translation of the Quran is the most verbatim and does not sugarcoat the scriptures to make it more palatable? I want to read it to be better educated on the subject in conversations.
You need American Standard Quran. Yeah.
The King James Quran.
I personally prefer Sahih International, but because it's more truthful than some of the others, but it's also a little bit, sometimes it gets a little bit broken English. But there are some that are not that much known. But Arbery, for example, is a very literal one.
Pickthall. I've seen lots of people praise the accuracy of Pickthall quite a bit. Problem there is it's written in like King James English. A lot of the older Qurans, they tried to make them sound like the King James Bible to make it sound holier to Christians in the West and so on. Some people say the Haleli Khan, but they pack a lot of stuff in there. They add a lot of parenthetical stuff in there for people.
KJQ.
As far as just reading, because you have a couple of issues. AP was talking about the accuracy of the Sahih International, but the broken English. Those are the kinds of concerns that some may be more accurate, but they're harder to read. Some may be easier to read, but they're less accurate, and so on. So it's going to kind of depend on what you're going for. The Oxford version it's translated by Guy Halim. I wouldn't say I wouldn't put that in the most accurate category, but it's the easiest. It was the easiest to read.
It is. I think that's what's good about that one. It is easy to read. It's readable. It makes it more readable. But that's my problem with it.
Yeah,
that's my problem with it, because
the easier it is to read, the less it's like the authentic Quran.
Yes. When I read it, it doesn't sound like the Quran. It sounds much more like smoothened and turned into something that is actually good. So. That's not very accurate. The Quran is a terrible read, and when you have accurate translations of it, it is still going to be a terrible book. However, if you just want to read it to get the idea of it, you could get this Abdul Halim, whatever that version. If you want more accuracy, you could go for something different. The accurate ones are worse.
Yeah. So what you generally want to do,
MAS Halim, Abdul Halim. Okay, yeah, that's him.
I would suggest if you're one of the people who wants to read the entire Quran all the way through, I would get something like the Halim translation just to be able to make it through. If you want to look up specific passages to be used for apologetics or polemics or something like that, you want to familiarize yourself with the important passages. There, I would just get a couple different translations to compare them. I mean, in other words, I would have this one, I would have the Sahih International, I'd have the Pickthall, and then I would read it in multiple versions. Why not recommend Robert Spencer's Critical Quran? It's easy to read and doesn't mince words. It's good. Oh yeah, if you're talking about Qurans with commentaries. So the question was, yeah, everyone should have Robert Spencer's Critical Quran. You should get that.
Well, it was written by an Islamophobe, and we don't want to endorse Islamophobic content here on this channel.
Yeah, how would that affect people? I mean, just imagine if a Reed comes over here to our channel to watch, and he sees us talking about Robert Spencer's Critical Quran.